Chapter 21, Episode 6. The professor looked at the clock and wondered if he should go out. It's what people did on a Friday night. He tried to remember the last time he'd just gone out to a bar and drank a beer. He wasn't really a drinker, but a beer on occasion seemed like an occasion to go to a bar. He used to go out any chance he got before he finished university. He went to bars 2 or 3 times a week and to parties. Speakeasies sometimes. Walking home watching the sun come up. Not usually very drunk. It was something he didn't do anymore. He had never planned to pick up a girl in any of his outings. He sometimes did. It just happened. He remembered a speakeasy once where he was standing behind a woman with long blonde thick wavy hair all the way down to her ass. He was so surprised that he said out loud that he loved her hair. That turned out to be a delightful but short relationship. He tried to remember. Almost 2 days, and then later, much later, they met for coffee. She had moved. He had written. He was in love. She knew it. She said she could be too if she wasn't leaving. The professor didn't believe her. Still liked her after all the years. She was a strong young woman, like Sally. He was a slave to that. He knew it. A strong woman. A strong human that was a woman. The complete thing. That is what he adored. But thinking about Heather or Sally wasn't what he wanted to do. Not on a Friday night. He got dressed and threw on his coat and shoes. Having decided he wanted to start with a beer and something to eat at the Irish pub, he called the car and just went. At every second corner he thought he saw Sally. It was the old don't think about tits thing. Or was it an elephant? After a good hour in the Irish pub, he hit the streets and poked his head into another bar he remembered, but not the music. He did an about-face and kept walking until he found a place with music that didn't irritate him. That was his only requirement. He was happy to land in a small club where someone who could have been J.J. Cale and much younger sang and played in his 4-piece band. The professor put $10 in the hat when someone came looking for donations for the band. When the musicians sat at the bar next to him during a break, he offered them a round of drinks. They accepted the offer and talked to the professor about music. They were all long-time musicians, but all of them had day jobs. Apparently, that was usually the case. The professor didn't pick up a girl. He enjoyed his conversations with a few people at the bar. He was happy he made contact with the band. They played regularly around the city. Just follow us on Babelbook. It was a good feeling to partake in social animal rituals. It was a primal desire to communicate. It didn't have to come to anything. It still had to be done. The professor concluded that the night out had been good. The worry the professor was having was that he couldn't stop speculating about Sally. When he talked to other women, she still was on his mind. He missed her. There was no replacement for someone like Sally. So he enjoyed his time out and went home alone. He looked through the 4 postcards from Hong Kong to Bangkok. He read the postcards in order, then in reverse order, to see if he could understand why a woman who was on her way to his apartment went on a trip around the world because of a sudden new position in her company. Suddenly and slowly around the world.